Okay, so where do I begin? I've been thinking about it a lot. Why I didn't pass the motorcycle test today. It was supposed to be a big day. I've been practicing for months, getting ready, making sure all the steps, all the maneuvers. I even had a checklist and every little detail. But still, I didn't pass the behind the wheel test. I think what frustrates me the most is that I felt ready. I felt like I've gotten a handle on everything. I've done the skill tests already a couple of times in practice. Nailed the basic things. Safety checks, mounting the bike, starting it up, all that stuff. I knew the basics. I've been going over these tight turns, quick stops, U-turns, and braking drills over and over. I thought this is it. This is the day. Today is the day. But when it actually came down to it, when the examiner pulled up and said, "Ready?" I didn't know it was like. I completely froze. Like all the knowledge and practice I've done right out the window. My hands were sweating, my heart was pounding in my chest, and even though I knew I had the skills to pass, my nerves totally took over. And did I mention that there was two of them? Two examiners. OMG. First, I got off to a good start. Basic stuff, right? I checked the bike, adjusted the mirrors, put on my helmet, all that. The examiner was pretty chill, but I could feel his eyes on me, watching everything I did. Two of them. I could tell he and she was waiting for me to mess up. That didn't help. I kept thinking, just keep it cool, you've got this. Then came the first session of the test. Riding in the figure 8 and doing the circle thingies 2 times. Going right side. I did it before in practice. I knew I could do it, but when I pulled up and saw the cones lined up, something happened. My brain froze. I'm not sure if it was the pressure or just the fact that the examiner was right there, two of them. But when I had to hit the brake hard, oh, excuse me. Let me do that again. But when I had to hit the brakes hard, I wasn't smooth enough. My back tire locked up for a second. I didn't come to a complete stop as quickly as I should have. I could hear him marking something down. I knew he was just right there. I had messed up. Okay, that's not actually what actually happened. I actually passed the first part of the test. I did the serpent snake. So you go from the right side and then you end up to the left side, to the right, to the left, to the right. And then once you do the final right side, you go to the left and you do the 2-time circle, turning your handlebars to the right. So I did that. That was close. I almost put my foot down on that one, but I was able to get through that one. Actually, my right turn was really hard. Like, that's the one thing that I practice a lot, and it paid off. I did the 2-turn, and then I did the serpent going backwards, and that's the first test, and it was, I wouldn't say it was easy, but I was able to pass it, thankfully. But it was the second test, the second part of the test that got me. I was doing well. This is the part where you just go straight in the line, which I did. And then you do the 2 circles going left side now. I did the first turn, good. And then somehow along the way, on my second half of the turn, the bike just, I wasn't leaning enough, there wasn't much power, and I put my foot down. And when I put my foot down, all hells went loose, and I got off the track, and yeah, I already knew. But surprisingly, I'm a chill guy. And so I just stopped the bike, turned it off. Thankfully, I didn't drop the bike or anything. It was just there standing. I was just rolling. I got off the lines, and the examiner came up to me and told me, hey, better luck next time. But the thing about this is that you can do it again. There's 3 tries. The examiner told me that it's going to be a $9 fee next time, just to retake the test, even though, you know, you paid $45. I thought it would be like $45 for the whole 3 tests, but no, apparently you have to pay a $9. And then my final 3rd test, if I fail the 2nd one, then it would be another $9. So if I don't pass this, you know. Anyways, continuing back. At that point, I felt like I was just trying to hold it together. I think that's what got me the most. The more I tried to focus, the more mistakes kept happening, and I started second guessing every move, every turn, every time I shifted gears. It's like I've forgotten all the confidence I had in practice. When we got back to the parking lot, okay, this is not part of it. Let me read this part. Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed, you know. I thought I was ready, I really did, but the truth is I wasn't. I let my nerves get in the way, I didn't focus enough, and surprisingly, I did I'm going really fast in here. I did a little bit of a practice test around before, probably like 10 minutes around the block, and I still failed. Oof. Keynote, don't think about it too much, just, you know, let the wind take you wherever it needs to take you. Anyways, I still have the next test. At the time of recording this is what, November 21, and November 21 today. Oh, it's already 12:59, so it's a new day. Anyways, I took this test November 20th, right? And so after I finished after I failed the test, when I got home, I tried rescheduling it, and I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, or let me know in like a month or so, but like it keeps telling me that I passed the course and that I don't have to take a course. I don't have to schedule a thing, which is weird because online it just doesn't let you do that, you know. It doesn't let you schedule a time to take your test again, so I have to go to the DMV in my own time. I tried calling too, but they wouldn't pick up. It's typical DMV. And so I'm gonna go in person, try to schedule, and hopefully the line isn't that long. Well, that's my dilemma. Busy day, busy weekend. Everything is just going cray. Anyways, this is oh my gosh, this is a lot to talk about. Next phase, we are going to talk about, what are we talking about? We are going to talk about, I had it in my head. It's the part where I'm just like, ooh, I'm zooming. That's what I'm doing right now. Look at me. Zoom. It's really cool. Guys, this is not 2 times speed. No, I'm just kidding. JK, it's not April Fool's Day. Yeah, after the tests, and you can still ride your bike once even if you fail the test, you can, you know, still use your permit to ride on the street. And that's what exactly I did. I did a little bit of de-stressing up in the mountain and climbed up the mountain. I don't know if you guys know this mountain pass, but shoot me a DM and I'll tell you exactly this route. But anyways, went up the mountain, did a little bit of, you know, turny turns, and just to de-stress how I failed my test. Oh my gosh. But it's okay. I'm gonna pass the next test. I just hope that I don't fail on a different part of the test. That would be so embarrassing. Let's see. Yeah, so what you need in order to pass, or what is the route? You know, there's not a lot of people that actually talk about specifically, I wouldn't say in detail, but what is the route in order for you to get your motorcycle license? Alrighty, so here in the state of California, right? Whoa, did it just end? Here in the state of California, you can either, if you're below 18, you would have to take a course. Over 18, I believe, you can just apply for it. So you're gonna have to take the written tests from the written test, well, let's talk about how I'm doing it. From the written test, you can either go to take an MSF course, or you can take the behind the wheel test. Actually, let me clarify that. I'm sorry, I don't want to confuse you guys. You have two options, right? You can either take the test right away, study for it, or take an MSF course. If you take an MSF course, you'll be, I would say, more equipped, because they will talk about the rules and regulations on day 1, and then day 2 you actually get to drive and then take that test there. And then right after that, you can present all your paperwork to the DMV, tell them, hey, I took an MSF course, let me take my test, my written test, right? And you'll take the written test, and then you get your license. Easy peasy. Or you can take it, I would say, the original way, which is just like a driver's license. You can either just take the test, the written test. You have 3 tries for the written test, and then you would schedule for a behind the wheel test. And oh my gosh, let me tell you how expensive it is just owning a motorcycle, because I did not know. Not that I did not know, I just did not fully prepare myself with how many expenses I have to do in order to get to where I am now, or will be once I have my driver's license. Well, do I just say M1 class? M1 class, yeah. Let's just, for the sake of it, not getting confused with auto, you know, M1 class. Anyways, yeah, no, I did not know. Was not prepared. So here's some things to keep in mind, expenses wise. Hopefully I could do like a little breakdown, but we'll see what future Gerald does with his editing skills. Number 1, you need a bike, right? Technically, you just need a bike, and that's your prerogative. Like, choose whichever bike. The bike is not that important. Well, it is, but what after it comes the gears. You for sure need a helmet. You for sure need gloves. I would just say those two, you're good, but other people say wear everything, wear protective gears. But when you're starting off, there's a fine line. You can always just say, when you're starting off, you gotta be well protected, get a jacket. Well, for sure in the future, but if you're starting off and you don't have that much, capital, then the basic necessity is you definitely need helmet and gloves. Basic necessity. And then cover yourself with other stuff. Jacket, a boot if you have, better shoes, just something you think would be sturdy. Anyways, those two. And then once you have a bike, oh my gosh, you gotta think about insurance, registration, maintenance. I had to buy myself some chain lube, degreaser. I had to buy myself some, I'm gonna buy myself some brake fluid compression suction so that I can do maintenance on that. I'm going to buy some upright bike stand. Those are like what I'm envisioning that I need to buy, just so that I can maintain my riding experience for quite a long time. Those are going to be necessities. Like, unless you go to the dealership you know a guy who has all the stuff already. But if you're by yourself and you don't know anybody, you're gonna have to buy those, and you have to learn how to use those tools. Oh my gosh, and the insurance really got me. Like, okay, going back, once you schedule for your behind the wheel test, you're gonna need a lot of identifications. Well, not a lot, you just need the basics, you know. First, you're gonna need your permit. That's the permit is the, what's it called, the paperwork that you passed when you did your written test. That's what they're gonna give you. That's the paperwork. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need proof of insurance. You're gonna need proof of registration, and then your driver's license. All those four. And then you'll be good to, you know, proceed with the driver's test. What else is there? I mean, honestly, I already knew what I was getting into. It's just that it doubles because I have a car, I'm paying all that too, and then you have this. It's just a lot of work. But, you know, although I'm complaining a lot, it's definitely worth it. Like, look at me, I'm happy right here. I'm just going zoom zoom. And so hopefully I can just pass this M1 test behind the wheel, blah blah blah, and get it over with. And I don't have to worry about the licensing. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I don't know what else to really talk about. I've been yapping for a good 16 minutes. I hope you guys didn't get bored of this. Oh, part 3. Let's go to part 3. Why did I even start writing? Nobody really asked me why I started writing. But anyways, I'm gonna beat it to it and do the video now in this part 3. So part 1 was me complaining how I didn't pass. Part 2 was about what you will need in order to start your motorcycle application and license. Part 3 is how I started. Anyways, it's really simple. It was my boss had this Ducati, this bike itself, and he got another Ducati, the Devell, and he wasn't using this Ducati anymore, and so there was talks of me purchasing the Ducati, and so hold and behold, I purchased the Ducati. But prior to this, there was actually another buyer who was very interested in this Ducati. He was willing to trade off his $9,000 BMW off-road bike to trade it for this Ducati, and I beat him to the punch. You know, snagged that sucker when I had the chance. How much did I pay for this Ducati? Well, I'm paying an installment right now, but I put in $1,000, and I'm doing the total cost for this bike. And keep in mind, this is a Ducati Monster 797 2018. I paid 5.5k on this bike, so I still have 4.5 to pay. But I've already made my payment last month for $400, so that's 4.1. Yeah, 4.1 left to pay. So I have that and all the other expenses with insurance and registration. Oh no, registration is already good for the year. What else? And maintenance. That's pretty much it. But other than that, my boss, you know, he was just talking about it, and at that time, prior to it, I've never had that urge to even get on a bike, to get into a motorcycle, which was quite literally, for me, is quite insane. And that was about, when was that? April, March or February, March, we were talking about it, and I bought the bike. But what also solidified it was the experience of just riding a motorcycle. So when I was in the Philippines back in April, one of my cousin, they let me use his scooter. And when I used the scooter, it was so fun. Like, I had quite a literal time, and it was so nice. And so I think that's the part where it's like, it's solidified, like, hey, I really want to get a bike, but do I want to learn how to ride the bike was more the question. Because I could ride the bike, like, it was just an automatic. You know, most bike in the Philippines, not most, but the ones that they use was already automatic is scooters. You had a scooter, not an actual big bike. And so that prompted me later on to learn how to use the big bike. And hold and behold, I'm riding on the streets. Let's see. Yeah, this is not a highway. This is just like streets up the mountain pass. It's nothing too crazy. Whoa, what am I doing? I'm quite speed racer out here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've talked for 21 minutes. That's crazy. About to end this commentary. Hopefully everything worked out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm doing a series where I'll be going around the neighborhood and trying some halo, so check out that series. I think I'm starting to get diabetes from all these halo places, so I need to stop, but I will continue if the videos do good and there's views. Anyways, that's pretty much all for me. Yeah, you're watching KingeraldTV. As always, stay +1 ahead of the game, and see you guys on the other side. Peace.